Okay, well, we're back at the bow and arrow shop. We did a video here almost a month ago doing reviews, or not so much reviews, but just kind of going through a few of the bows, and they were all, I believe, 32-inch axle to axle. So now we're doing 4 bows today, and they're all a little bit longer axle to axle, I believe, ranging from 33-inch, like this one is, all the way up to 35-inch. So Bruce, you want to go ahead and tell us some of the pros and cons of the longer axle to axle?
Sure, man. This is a carryover from last year from Bowtech. The bows they came out with, we already hit on the last bow review we did a couple of weeks or a month ago. This is 33. Very similar. So you're gonna have a little bit smaller cam than the Solution or the SS or the, you know what I mean, the one we already hit. So what I like about this is a little bit more mass, right? So you start getting into your 33s, 34s, 35s. More axle to axle just means more mass, harder to move. So if you look at target bows, right, they're 38, 40, 41 inches. So when you start looking at this, you're getting that 6.5-inch brace height, 33-inch, and a great speed. So I like this bow. I think I covered this on the shorter bows. For the longer, taller guys, I want a little bit more bow, right? I just feel, and I know we covered it on the smaller bows that they have bigger cams for string angles, but I still want that longer riser and that little bit more mass filling into my shot.
I agree. My favorite axle to axle length has always been 34-inch for whatever reason. This is actually the bow I shoot, the Revolt X. So been shooting it a full season, hunted with it, do 3Ds with it. Really like the bow. Super smooth, repeatable bow, and I shoot this all the time, but let's just send one downrange. Today we're doing all 29-inch draws. All these bows at 60 pounds, so they're all just buttery smooth today. And yeah, string angle I really like on this bow. And yeah, just a great bow. Super
You kind of know this one.
I know this one, but I like it. So we're gonna move into the next one, and Bruce will tell us about it. First off the chopping block, that's not the bow I shoot. We got Bowtech Reckoning, which I believe is kind of like an in-between of a target and a hunting bow. Good hunting bow, also could be a target bow, 35-inch axle to axle. And I believe tech-wise, it's pretty similar to the Revolt X, but that's Bruce's alley, so go ahead and tell us about it.
Really cool bow, and you're right, you're in 100%. So they kind of made this bow for a crossover, is what they call it, a 3D / hunting bow. I hunted a 36-inch bow for 1.5 years a while back. Boy, you talk about for your spot and stock, that long range, it just holds like a rock. So here, what's kind of cool about this bow, you know, the same tech, like James said, I can loosen the screw, move the cam back and forth for laser tunic cams, flex guard. But what's kind of cool about this that a lot of bows don't have is it has essentially a deflexed riser. So when you look at this riser, how it comes back and puts the pivot point of the bow on the center pivot technology behind your hand, right? So like I covered on the Prime a little bit, on this bow with Bowtech, very hard for you to torque your shot. You physically have to want to torque this shot because of that deflexed riser. So that's what they kind of did with this. Some guys are like, oh dude, this looks ugly to me. I don't think it does, but the technology of the bow of that deflex riser is a major deal.
It's definitely a unique look. I always see this and it reminds me of like a sword in Aladdin. Like you know what I mean? It kind of has that look, but I think it's kind of cool. I mean, if you know, if I run out of arrows, maybe I could just slice something charging me, you know, I'll see.
So it's going to have that nice hard wall.
Oh, it does.
Slide, you can move.
Yeah, see with the long bows, I mean, these things really just hold so steady.
Now do me a favor, keep your thumb off trigger. Relax your fingers up front, just try to torque this a little bit. You see how it fights you and wants to go back in that straight line?
As soon as you let go, it just goes back straight.
Right. And then it's cool too, because we can play with your valleys with your slider stop. We can take it forward or back, give you that 80, 85, 75, 65, whatever you want in this for a valley.
Yeah.
And you can also go with Bowmar stops. You get that super hard pull.
Really cool. Let's shoot one more. What I've always liked about longer bows is I just feel like they just sit a little smoother. Like you're gonna have a little less pin movement.
Right. More mass, right?
Yeah.
Sort of like we were talking.
Heavier, longer. And you can just kind of focus on pulling through the shot. So really cool bow. And yeah, like if you are a taller guy, this one's probably pretty money and accurate as heck. So we'll get into the next one. Next up, we got the PSE EVO EVL. I believe this is a 34-inch bow, but that's about the extent of my knowledge on this. So Bruce, go ahead and tell us about it.
You nailed it. Just like the 32, 34-inch axle to axle. A lot of the same, it's the same technology, just a longer bow. So you still have the system here where you can twist up your yokes for cam lean, for tune, wider stance on the limb, 6 3/4 inch brace height, 338 I want to say off the top of my head, IBO. So really smooth. They have two different cam styles. I put you in a little bit of the long draw style, which I find to be a little bit smoother. But same tech as the 32. You got your roller guard system. You can kind of fine tune here with your lean of your cable rod. Really nice bow. So if you notice, a lot of people are getting into trying to achieve that straight riser. So they're bringing that pocket system back and trying to get in line with that hand. You'll see it on a lot of companies. See what you think, man.
Give her a rip.
I find this to be a little bit smoother than the 32, you know, back to that 34, 33.
I've always
been that more lineal draw cycle.
I've always been pretty impressed with the Evolve cam when I shoot the PSEs, which I see that this has. Yeah, this is definitely smoother than the 32.
And I kept you in the longer valley.
Better string angle too for me.
Right.
Yeah, like so far of the three bows we shot, this one is the biggest difference I feel from the 32. Like that bow I wasn't that pumped on when we shot him in the last video. This one I really like. Like this might be one of my favorites so far out of the three.
Just gives it more of a lineal feel, huh?
Feels so smooth. It almost just feels like the old Matthews no cam, just like rolls into the back.
Right.
Great string angle.
Plus, it's a nice dead bow. I mean, for 34, what guys don't realize is, you know, the shorter bows. Yeah, they're going to be a little bit deader or a little bit heavier to make it deader, but it should. Less riser, less string, less cable, less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would shoot this thing in 2 seconds. This thing's really nice. So if you come down to the bow shop, definitely don't pass this one up. At least give it a try when you're trying out all the bows. So we'll get into the last one. We got the last bow. We got the Prime Nexus. I really liked the 32 version that we did. In fact, I think it was probably my favorite of the ones we shot. So I like longer bows, so I got pretty high anticipation I'm gonna really like this bow. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about this one?
So the Nexus 4, right? It's just like the Nexus 2, longer bow, back to what we covered already with the stiffest riser in the industry, the sandwich cam for no cam lean. You can shim it with 2 metal shims, either way. For tune, big platform on, flex guard. So pretty much what we covered in the 32. A lot of cool stuff going here. Free string cables every 2 years for life. A lot of cool stuff going on with that bow. So 34 inches of love.
I'm excited to shoot it. I really like that last one.
It's a 6 inches of brace height that scares away some shooters, but once again, you can't torque this. I want you to move your front hand a little bit, like you did on the Reckoning. See how it just snaps?
It just pops right back.
So
that draw is so, I mean, it's ridiculous. So good. Good string angle. You know, this bow and the PSE, I would say out of the 4 we shot, probably have the best draw of the 4, I would say. But this one, this might be the best. Let me see here.
You pick up a little load on the back end on this, I've noticed, compared to like the Revoltex. Okay, have you noticed that?
A little bit. Ooh, that thing went off quick. But yeah, I really like, out of these two, I'm impressed. I think the PSE from the 32s made the biggest jump for me. It was like, I really, for some reason, like the 34 a lot more than the 32.
Right.
And this one I loved on both. But I actually think that PSE might have had a bit of a smoother draw, actually.
Right.
This one, like you said, has just like a little bit of like a hump kind of in that
just at the
middle.
Back end.
Yeah.
Now, what's cool that a lot of guys don't realize, and you just said it.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes in and tries this bow, they're just at points, and I honestly feel that it's just that center grip of riser.
Yep.
You know, for the knock travel with the 2 different size cams.
Yeah.
But everybody shoots no sights, no nothing, and they just hold a tight and right grip.
I will say too, anytime I see a grip like this on a bow, I always think I'm gonna hate it. Like, I just always do. I really like square metal grips. But when you're in a draw, I'll tell you what, this is actually a really nice grip. It fits that line in your hand perfect and just sits really good. So
It's ergonomic.
If you're like me and you see this grip and you're like, I'm gonna hate it, give it a try because it's actually pretty nice and sits in your hand good. So
plus it's nice and warm, right? We covered that on the
yeah,
32.
nice and warm. Yeah, he said he doesn't get that frigid cold when you're hunting them negative temps or whatever. But that's it. So that's 4 bows. Really liked all of them. That's the thing nowadays. It's like all the bows are very good now. So it's like you just shoot them and pick what you like the best. Me personally, I actually think I like the PSE the best of these 4, but they're all really, really good, and I'd be very happy to shoot any of them. So head down, shoot them all, bow and arrow shop, and see which one you like best.
Something we didn't cover that I was happy to see this year, and I'm glad you wanted to do both videos. It seems like the industry is going shorter and shorter and shorter. 30, 31s, 32. I mean,
27.
20. I know. That's just that's to me. I get it if you're 20 yards sitting in a tree stand.
Yeah.
It's not our style.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much once you leave the Midwest,
yeah,
you better get into a little bit more bows. So I was super happy to see someone come out with a 34 and a 33 or 35.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a Western state hunting. Even guys sitting in tree stands in the Midwest, you know, Kansas, or I mean, you know, some of them big open cornfields. Man, you might want to have that pin stability that everybody's looking for in that longer bow, but it bums me out when I just see 30s, 31s, like you said, 27s, 28s. I mean, dude, that's almost ridiculous. And I get it with the bigger cams and all that, but
I agree. Actually, like I hunt a fair amount of trees and blinds. I do every form of hunting: spot and stalk, ground blind, tree stand. And I shoot a 33-inch bow. I've shot a 34-inch bow for years, and I've never had an issue of them being too big. And like you said, they shoot way better. They hold better. There's a reason target shooters shoot long bows. So if you've always shot 27s or 28s, like don't be afraid to try a bigger bow. It's not like you're going to be bashing the top of your blind or your tree. Like
the biggest thing I hear is, oh, it's going to be heavier. No, dude, you might be talking like 0.5 heavier.
A few ounces, but
exactly.
Personally, I actually like a heavier bow too. I think they point and shoot better, so it is what it is. All good bows, come in, shoot them all. That's the best thing when you come to the bow shop. Bruce will basically tire you out, making you shoot all the bows to find which one you like best. But that's what you got to do to find what fits you best. Because like I said, none of us are good enough to outshoot any of these bows' potential, but we do want to shoot whatever we're most comfortable with and can repeat the best. So that's the main thing. Anyways, that'll wrap it up. Come into the bow and arrow shop and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks, guys. That was easy.